Charles, obviously another notable fight for you here, Bantamweight. How has, I guess, this experience through this camp, getting down there, being compared to the others so far?
It was the best experience because now I'm a father, and it was so great to mix up. I feel the dad strength when they talk about the dad strength. I feel like I'm Super Saiyan 2 because of it. And you're not only fighting for yourself, you're fighting for something bigger. And so, yeah, more mature, stronger, physically, mentally. It was a very fun road the last year.
How old's the baby now?
8 months.
Okay.
I always told myself, when I'm going to have my first kid, I'll spend as much time as I can with him. And the UFC allowed me to have that privilege of not have like 4 months father leave or something. No, it was on my terms. So UFC and the pay allows me to do that.
Yeah, so you're back on a good sleep schedule.
Actually, now that's what I feel like, a Jedi. I can sleep 4 hours and feel fine. So yeah, it's sleep was a fight at first, but it's okay. Now I sleep 4 or 5 hours and I feel completely replenished.
So I guess like the theme of this fight must be a lot of family motivation. Your brother and his experience on Contender Series as well. Like this must be very good for your inner circle right now.
Oh, absolutely. Like it's the first time it doesn't feel like a fight week. I feel very loose. Been working really hard for the past year, which is and also having Davey Grant as an opponent, which is a fantastic fighter who likes to scrap. I feel very blessed to live this, especially in Vancouver.
Do you feel like, with Davey, we've seen him knock people out, submissions, do you feel like this is going to be a very complete mixed martial arts fight between you two, or is there a certain area where you're hoping to keep this?
I did some digging on some interviews that he's done, and they asked about him if it would be a standing up battle, and he answered, "Oh, it's an MMA fight. I need to use all my tools." And now, because he's with Syndicate MMA, having Merab and all those grappling every guys, I wouldn't be surprised him trying to take me down. Like if you look statistically, my takedown defense is like the worst thing that plays against me. So, of course, he's going to try, and I'll welcome him with the guillotine choke.
There you go. Was there ever any realistic talk of your brother fighting on this card in the quick turnaround, or was it like, all just hopes, and then when it came time to actually make that decision, it wasn't there?
It was shut down by the doctor right after the fight because he needed to do a scan with his foot. His foot was completely blue, exploded, and Louis was very bummed out about it. But it's like, hey, take your time. Don't do like me, jump 2 weight class and fight anybody short notice. Take your time. You're a UFC fighter now, and he said after after his press conference after the Bantamweight Contender Series win, said I can learn from Charles' mistake, so he's gonna have a much better run than I have.
I mean, you've been here for a while now. How much of your focus is on his career and making sure he maximizes? Like, are you almost placing that in front of yourself in some ways?
Now he's the captain of his boat. Like when you see my reaction after his victory, I fell to my knees because I felt I'm not having Louis as a crew member now. He's the captain of his destiny and he's accomplishing his legend. So I'm feeling quite lighter than I would feel a couple years ago.
What do you make of Davey's durability? He seems like, he's always in a war. He's an older fighter. You would typically think fighters as they get older would be, easier to finish. But in his case, he seems like a guy that will just, bring that war. Does that kind of, change things for you a bit, just knowing you're fighting a guy that, right till the final bell is going to be giving it and it's not going to be an easy out?
After my last fight at 35, I finished a guy who never been finished. So now I truly believe I was forged in a different fire than the typical 135er. I fought 45ers like the Jean Silva, the Sean Woodson, the Du Choi, and I've been hit and I've been through war with very big guys. And that gives me a lot of confidence in my ability to finish guys at 35.
How much different do you feel in this weight class? Just, and is it something that you looking back now, being like, maybe I should have dropped, earlier in my career?
Yes, but we have this talk with me and my master Fabio, and he said, no, you were forged with these experience, and it's okay. Maybe I would have a more prolific run than lose one, win one, and all those ups and downs. But no, it led me to here. I'm in great shape, fantastic physicality right now, and mental preparation. Everything is quite fine. So I truly believe I was forged into those flames in order to have this proper run at 35.
And how strong do you feel in the weight class? You just mentioned Sean Woodson. He's like on the big side for featherweight, right? So you're now fighting in a lower weight class. You must feel pretty strong in this division.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, I cannot train too much with 35ers because I'm so used to spar heavier guys like 55ers, 70-pounders. So yeah, I'm quite confident in that because, like I said, when you are in the clinch with Duo Choi who's giving you uppercuts, or Jean Silva, and then you have Victor Henry, and I swept him, I was like, oh my God, he was so light, so different. But also, Victor Henry is not the biggest 35er, so I need to not be overconfident with that.
And a lot going on in your division. There's a lot of big fights coming up, but they just announced this week that Merab Dvalishvili going to be fighting and defending his title against Petr Yan. What do you make of that fight? Obviously, Petr Yan probably different than the first time they fought, but as a guy who's moving up in the division like yourself, what do you think of that rematch coming up in December?
It's so great to have a champion like Merab because I think it's the first time everybody's talking about the 35er that much. Like we had the Volk run, but then the Ilya came, lights him out, and then leaves. So even the featherweight was like, nah. But because of Merab, I think there's a lot of spotlight on the 35 division, which is exciting for us young up-and-comer.
And just last one for me, first time fighting in Vancouver, if I'm not mistaken. That's you hoping to get every province by the time your career's done at this point?
Yeah, I think, where did I, yeah, actually. It would be, like Saskatoon would be another place, but I'll never fight there. No, but yes, I'm very happy to fight in Vancouver. All the people outside are super nice, get recognized a lot, and mostly from my Instagram posts more than my fighting, so it's funny.
Charles, right here.
Yes.
You're probably going to get asked a lot about your brother over the next while, and it's kind of carrying on in a tradition of siblings in the UFC, like the Diaz brothers or the Shevchenko sisters, if you want to go there. You were asked about whether or not he could be on this card. Would you want to be on the same card, or does that kind of add stress to you?
No, that's the plan. We've done it through TKO. We fought on multiple times on the same card. Sometimes Louis fought, I didn't. But being on the same card is just fun. It's just memories, and we can cut weight together and live this experience together. And when we're going to be two old men on our chair and talking about it, we'll be very happy that we went to war together.
Fair enough. And he kind of laughed when your Twitter was brought up recently. He said he wouldn't post some of the things that you do. I won't mention any of them, but has anyone like him or anybody else ever just taken you aside and said, Charles, what are you doing?
No, because I have a very good amount of sponsors, and to my surprise, they really enjoy it. You know, I'm always on the edge, and people find it funny, and it's okay. It's the fake world. It's internet, you know. So when people finally meet me, they're like, "Oh, you're a lot smarter." I'm like, "Yeah, of course. I'm not saying all those shit when I'm at dinner with my family, you know." So it's fun, and it gets me a lot of sponsors, a lot of fun opportunities. So, but I'm less Twitter. Twitter was a mean place. It was a dangerous place.
Have you noticed, aside from the sponsors, have you noticed more like fan engagement, fans coming up to you and talking about it?
So, like, the social media aspect is like a tremplin. People uses that, then they go deeper and they watch my podcast, especially in Quebec. And I have a very big fandom in Quebec where young men are saying that I've inspired them to become a better version of themselves. So I'm not a guru, of course, but I'm proving to them that if me and Louis did it, you can do it. And it's not only about sport, it's growing up as a man, because the first thing that led us to martial art was to be stronger young men, because we were adolescent when we found martial art. And it was only that road to become, like I said, a greater man, and it led me to the UFC because me and Louis were quite good at it. So I'm happy I'm having a positive influence on the young men, especially in Quebec.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.